So a pretty huge download of combining all the technologies together. So if I had to simplify it, and I am assuming a lot of industries, they would want to move into this direction where they could use AI or other tech to maybe streamline production, streamline productivity, streamline operations, and they definitely face a lot of challenges. So if you had to guide someone on a simpler journey on how to get this started, are there any easier use cases or a more relevant use case they could get started with?
I always advise companies, like when I sit in workshops with executive teams or I'm speaking directly with the founder, is to educate themselves just on the basic terminology. And once you're aware of what's available to you, that takes away the fear and the reactive impulse, right? Because we'll see a news headline and say, oh, the Gucci Garden, or oh, Roblox is collab with Nike, or look what Minecraft has done with, Burberry. And then there's excitement, then there's fear, and then there's paralysis, and then nothing happens. And these are just examples to inspire the founder or the decision maker that you can use these tools in an inventive way. And it could be for PR marketing, or it can be, as you said, for productivity or for efficiency as it relates to product design. And so I say start with education, just basic awareness. You do not need to get a PhD, right, in these tools or these areas. Find an advisor to guide you that you trust, and or a resource, if it's a platform, if it's a book, if it's a blog, something that you can go to stay up to date, and then look at, well, what problems do we have right now? And which area, if we're going to break this into three, pieces, and we're going to say back end, middle, and then front end. Front end is the forward facing, the customer, and the middle is what's touching your employees. And then the back end is it's the development, the raw, the materials that you're needing to create the product, right? And so when you're looking at these three components, what problems exist right now? And what do you want to focus on? And then if you're deciding the back end, well, why? Why the back end versus the front end? And then when you look at the why, then you're going to say, oh, okay, well, I want to do this because I want to reduce this for this reason. Let's say it's waste. I want to reduce waste because it intimately ties into the story we're telling our customers, or we want to move forward and hit these goals. We want to have a 10% reduction in our carbon footprint in 3 years. So if we focus on the back end, that's what it's going to do. So this is where, or we see that we have a low employee morale because our employees are, feeling overworked. And so let's focus there, because if we increase employee morale, we're able to increase imagination and innovation, which will help create more solutions for the back end and help create better products for the front end, right? So it's looking at these three segments. What is the problem that exists right now? And maybe it's taking a survey, or it's something that was already known, and then saying, well, here's problem A. And now look at the basket of tools we have. We have the hammer, we have the screwdriver, we have the nuts and the bolts, or, the power drill. Which of these tools are going to more quickly help this problem? And so just let's look at blockchain and understanding you could capture data in a way that can't be changed. Well, how is that going to help you? Is that going to help you from the employee morale standpoint? Or maybe it's better on the back end. So, okay, well, let's choose blockchain, and we're going to work on our efficiency around sustainability, because that directly ties into the story that we want to tell in 2 or 3 years. And, oh, you know what? If we bring in AI, we're going to amplify the results of efficiency on the back end side. So let's also bring in this tool. So now we have the hammer, now we have the screwdriver. Okay, great. We've solved that. Oh, guess what? Our numbers have gone down in terms of sales. Can any of these tools help us increase sales? Oh, I've heard of this thing called NFTs. What's that? Well, let me learn about that. Oh, does that apply to us? Oh, yeah, that's something that we can do. We can generate a new revenue stream that doesn't increase waste, because it can be digital only. Well, let's talk to an advisor about this, and let's find a partner that could allow us to create a strategy that makes sense with our brand story to add a digital revenue stream to increase our sales and make up that deficit. So that's just one example of how you can, from a bird's eye view, look at the three components within your organization, and then identify a problem, and then go to your toolbox and say, which of these will better address the problem right now?
Yeah, that was a great breakdown of how someone should approach it. And yeah, it makes things sound simpler when you break it down into, especially the front end, back end, and I forgot the third one which you mentioned.
The
Front
middle
end,
with
the middle.
the team
Yeah.
operations.